You might want to rethink your next Airbnb stay. We have Justin Long and some very spoiled milk in Barbarian. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. If you're new here, my name is Carter Scott and Allen. This is my film page where I discuss anything and everything film related. If I'm interested, I will talk about it. But with that being said, today we are taking a look at Zach Cregger's new film, Barbarian. And before we get into this, I will say full spoilers ahead because this is one of those films that you just kind of have to talk about it with spoilers because the twist is a big what the fuck twist. So you have been warned, spoilers ahead. A woman staying at an Airbnb discovers that the house she has rented is not what it seems. And of course, starting with the directing, we have Zach Cregger behind this film, both with the writing and the directing. He is most known for his acting role in the TV series Wrecked, I believe on CBS, as well as his writing and co-creation of the comedy group Whitest Kids You Know. Cregger did a fantastic job with this film. He built suspense and built tension and kept that tension high all the way throughout the film. This film is a wild thrill ride that delivered every single emotion that I wanted to experience from a film of this genre and style. And with that being said, I will now definitely check out anything that Zach Cregger puts out in the future. And rolling right along to the cast and the characters in this film, everyone in this film is fantastic. From Bill Skarsgård's Keith, who is very intriguing and eerie in the first act, all the way to AJ, played by Justin Long, who is very conceited and self-absorbed in the second act. But like I said, everyone is fabulous. You cannot discredit or forget our main lead, Georgina Campbell, who is fantastic, and she delivers some amazing final girl screams. I have to say, I would love to see her in more horror type things because this is an awesome performance, and I would love to see her actually kind of become a final girl in some way, shape, or form. Everyone in this film does a fantastic job, and she especially did a fantastic job at making me intrigued and engaged with what I was looking at on the screen. If there were any complaints that I had with the cast or the characters, it would have to be with some of the stiff dialogue between Tess and Keith's character earlier on in the film. But other than that, really no complaints at all. And moving right along to the story, this film plays out in a crazy fun way, but overall it has a twist that it's kind of been done before, but again, it's just the way that it plays out is so engaging and entertaining that you absolutely have fun and you buy what the twist is. It's a totally believable twist, and there's kind of multiple twists within that twist. You know, something regarding AJ's character and what he does that just, I guarantee you, nobody's going to be expecting when you go into the film. I love the fact that the story went from this chaotic first half and it cuts when you get that first real jump scare. It cuts straight from there to something totally happy, and you get AJ driving in his car, singing a song, and it's just totally that first big what the fuck moment of the film. The one thing I did really appreciate about the story is that it's not spoon-feeding you the entire time. Yes, we get the shot of the empty kind of cage-ish room with the camera and the empty bed, but we never actually see anything happen in that room. The most entertaining, most exciting thing that happens in that room is Justin Long with the tape measure, measuring the room. So that's just all insinuating things that have happened in the past there, and it's a hint to what's to come. It's a hint as to what is down there, why they're down there, and it's very obvious. It's once you kind of see that room, you kind of know where it's going. But it's the way that it plays out that makes it so interesting and fun. I thoroughly did not expect to see the creep man, bad man down in the tunnels. I don't necessarily even think that needed to be in there, but I still thought it was cool, and you needed a way for Justin Long to get a gun. But yeah, I thought it was a fun twist, and you do have those little seeds laying the groundwork for that twist earlier on in the film. And also another thing about the story that I love, this also kind of just has to do with a character moment, but the old bum who's homeless and he tries to stop Tess from going into the house, but in the moment you actually think it's just some kind of crackhead coming to attack her, when in reality he knows what's going on. He's trying to save your life, which I thought that was awesome. And moving right along to the visuals for this film looks very good and clean. It looks very crystal clear. All of the color is very well done, the framing is very well done, the set design is very well done, everything is very well done. But the best pieces of the visuals came from the cinematography. When you're in the tunnels, you really do feel like you are there, and you can feel the layout of these tunnels. You can understand where they're going. You're not just thrown around thinking, oh, this character's turn left, this character turn right. How do they, you're understanding the way that these tunnels are going, and it's hard to make that feel believable and real, and they did a fantastic job of that. The lighting team overall did a fantastic job at making sure the audience, could see what the characters were seeing and still be able to kind of be one step ahead, or maybe feel like you're one step ahead of the characters, but in reality you're not. You're right there along with them the entire time. And moving right along to the score, I will say I didn't notice much of the score because I was so engaged with what I was watching, what I was actually seeing. But the little bits of the score that I did notice, I will say you have to give it props because it was very original. There were some sounds in there that I was like, oh yeah, I definitely don't think I've really heard that type of ominous tone in a horror film before. So yes, good score for this film. Other than that, I would have to rewatch it in order to really nitpick and hear things. I think this film really does rely heavily on the sounds of what's going on, the diegetic sounds of, people walking, the footsteps, all those things that you would hear within the world of the film. That's mostly what you're going to hear in the film, and I think it totally works. And moving right along to the final thoughts for Barbarian. Barbarian is a wild film. This is a must-see film with a crowd. I would not see this film without a crowd at all. This is seriously one of those films you have to see in a theater with a crowd just to enjoy that full experience. It was, honestly, we only had 6, 7, 8 other people in the theater, but even that was enough to make the film experience way more enjoyable than it would have been had I watched the film alone or by myself. It's just, you really want to hear all of the other crowd members' reactions to what you're watching, because there are a lot of what the fuck moments. But like I said, this film is fun. It came out of nowhere. The cast is phenomenal, and the twist is way too good to not see with the crowd. This is one of the most fun horror experiences I've had all year, and I gotta say, it was totally worth it. It was worth seeing with a crowd, and I'm so glad I didn't know anything about it going into it. Now, I would recommend this film if you love horror, period. If you don't love horror, but you like some creepy-ish films from time to time, this might be one of those films for you, because it really isn't that bloody. It's not that gory. When it does get to those moments, yeah, it's very shocking, but there's only a few of them. I will definitely be buying this film when this releases on Blu-ray. Let me know what you guys thought of Barbarian down in the comments below. And I forgot to mention this in the cast and the characters, but I also just like how both of the men in this film, both Keith and AJ, but they both teeter the line of being good people. Well, first off, Keith, you think he's a bad person, and then he ultimately ends up being a good person. And then AJ, because he's played by Justin Long, you just kind of want to like him because Justin Long is a likable person. So you go into it thinking, oh yeah, Justin Long is going to be happy and fun, and then he's slowly revealed to be truly this asshole, and you have glimmers of, oh, maybe he's telling the truth, maybe he's a good guy, and it just solidifies over and over again that he is a piece of shit, and I just loved the way that it played out. So those are my thoughts for Barbarian. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you guys thought of Barbarian down in the comments below. Let me know, do you guys think Barbarian is a good title? What do you think they should have titled the film had it not been Barbarian? Let me know down in the comments below. I'm Carter Scotland Allen, and I will see you guys in my next movie-related video. Peace.